You ever get the feeling that life is happening to you and not the other way around? Welcome to Krocks in the Kitchen.
I'm Jessica.
And I am Brian.
What does that even mean? Life happening to you as the other way. What would the other way be?
About you, taking life and just going out there and doing stuff and accomplishing goals and that kind of thing, as opposed to all of these other outside things just happening to you.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to ponder that one.
I don't know. It made sense in my head, but if it doesn't make sense to you, then, explain to me how I could have said it better. So.
So today is just a straightforward life update.
Yep.
I think we said we were going to do these once a month, and then we did one maybe in August, and then we didn't do another one.
Yeah, we didn't do one in September.
But here we are. It's October, and we were like, hey, let's just do a little update telling these guys what's going on. Now, our lives are pretty boring for the most part. We don't really do much, especially these days. But I did come up with I have my notes.
Yes, I saw that.
I have my notes of a few things that we can talk about. So, I mean, I think we should start. Sometimes we'll end with the secret thing that everyone wants to know about.
Yeah.
But I think we'll just start with that. So what does everyone always want to know about us?
Weight loss.
Weight loss. So that's what everyone wants to know is how's your weight loss going? What's going on with that? So you guys saw back was it in August that we posted the little "This is not a confession"?
Yeah, and then we
video?
did the video right after that, which is how much did we really gain?
Oh yeah, how much weight did we gain? So we had been doing so good this year, with our weight loss and everything, and even even being locked up at home, we had been doing really, really good, and then we just sort of got completely off, and it was just not a good scenario. Then we went on our little trip, and we shared some videos from our trip. If you haven't seen those yet,
Yep.
Check those out from our trip to Huntsville. And then we came back, and actually, how have you been doing since we came back?
I've actually been doing really well. I'm down back into the 320s, lost more than 15 pounds. And, that's even with somebody baking me an apple pie. And, occasionally we went out to a couple of different restaurants and got it definitely had oil on it, but we tried to stick as on plan as possible while doing it. But still having some of those rarer kind of meals, especially I had an awesome lunch with my mom one time because I hadn't gotten to see her in a very long time. And actually talk to her about stuff. And so it was amazing actually getting a chance to do that. And so even with those little blips and stuff in there, although I totally gained weight with that pie because that pie was just that amazing. So
Sorry.
You
wanted pie. I
wanted
made you pie.
And then on top of that, there was maybe that special secret little birthday project that you were working
cake project for my birthday that I'm working on.
Yeah, that was awesome too.
But if you don't know what he's talking about with the pie, check out our apple recipe challenge video. We'll link to that one too. And it was Jill Dalton's fault, really.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's her fault.
All your fault, Jill. All yours.
But you've been doing really, really well.
Yeah.
You've been sticking to it. You've been trying really hard. And I have been doing not so well.
True.
I mean, you guys can tell, it's obvious when I have gained some weight and all that. You can tell, you see us in the videos. I mean, you're not blind. And it's been a struggle for me, honestly. I've been kind of teetering back and forth between anxiety and depression over the last few months. There's some things that happened that just caused me to kind of go, I was in such a good place mentally the beginning part of the year. I was in such a great place. And it really, I think the fact that I got off of that, as far as with the eating goes and everything like that, and gained some weight, that definitely threw me off mentally. And then once I get into a point where I feel like I've kind of dug myself into a hole, sometimes I feel like it's easier just to sit in that hole or dig myself a little deeper than it is to start crawling out, because it's hard when it's hard to crawl out when you have gotten yourself into a funk, whether it's mentally, eating, doing whatever it is, not going out and doing things. you don't see a way out sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's easier to dig than it is to climb.
Yes, exactly. So I've been doing a lot of digging where you've been doing some climbing.
Yeah.
But it's actually been kind of cool because Brian usually is so dependent on what I'm doing. And so I have been really proud of you for sticking to your guns, even though I've been off and doing my thing and not doing really great and eating way too much and all that. I really am proud that you've stuck to your thing because that kind of shows you, I think, hey, I can do that. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's definitely been one of the first times that we've ever kind of eaten separately. I mean, she's still eating all the same stuff that I'm making and all of that. But it was the first time that I was like really hardcore on and she wasn't necessarily as on.
I was just eating out of boredom. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I was just like, I'm bored, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. Like, I need comfort. Give me food.
Yeah. And I think I said this before on, I don't remember where, but that for Jessica, like the food is not driving the depression. The depression is driving the food. And so when she gets depressed, when she gets anxious, she tries to find that thing that will make her feel better. Mm-hmm. And it is just like, I mean, other people, I know people who drink or people who do drugs or something like that. It's very much in that kind of a vein. But the food is not like, the food is not the thing that she's after. It's the feeling that comes with that. It's the feeling of comfort of this brings me back to a time when it was easier, when things were simpler, and even takes you back to your childhood sometimes with some of the things.
Definitely.
And so like your depression can cause that.
Yeah, but then also it's weird because then if I gain weight or whatever, then that also causes me to kind of sit more in my depression because it seems more difficult to get out of it. But for me, it's been really weird because I have been kind of in this zone where I feel like I either have to choose to be anxious or depressed. With like my anxiety medicine that I'm on, we've been like kind of playing with a dose a little bit, and it's like if I take more, I get to the point where you've seen it. Mm-hmm. Like I'm depressed and I don't want to do anything. And if I take less, then the anxiety and all that kind of comes back through a little bit. So there's like a really fine line. And for me, yeah, it is frustrating to, sit here and think like, am I ever just going to be able to be normal? And like, I'm not going to cry. No, but yeah, it is frustrating because I felt so good earlier in the year. And like, I just keep thinking of that. And I know you can't live in the past and all that. And like, you can't, but I just want to get back to where I was earlier in the year where I was in such a good place. But I do think that, everything going on with being not able to travel a lot and do a lot of things like we normally do. We don't have concerts right now. I work in the concert industry, so my industry is a just completely gone right now. And that's a big, huge part of my life. That, I'm on furlough from my job indefinitely at this point. Like, we don't know when things are going to pick up again. And it's going to be, at least a few months into next year before that even becomes a possibility of me going back to work and doing that. And it also, I think in my head, I thought that I've thought for a while, like, you know how like it's kind of like the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. Because I've thought for a while, like, oh, if I could just like not have to work and like whatever, like I'd be so happy. And then here I am given this period where it's like, hey, you don't have to work, because I work really hard. Like, I am a workaholic. I put everything that I am into my work, and so for me, it takes a lot out of me, and I've been doing that constantly, like literally since 2 weeks after I graduated from college back in 2008, I think it was. I started a full-time job, and I've been in full-time office jobs 100% of the time since then. Like, and so I thought in my head, like, oh, if I could just, work from home or do whatever, like I'd be happy. And then that happens, and it's not magically I'm happy. And so that, I think, has messed with me a lot too, because it's like, oh, well, that doesn't magically make me happy to not have to work, then how am I ever going to be happy? Like, oh, like, and I think you do take for granted a lot of things that when they're taken away, then you're like, oh, wow, I really did, like, my job and all that stuff. Like, I did enjoy doing it. I do really love it. I don't know. So it's been a weird time for me mentally. And that's definitely messed with me as far as my eating goes. And I've also, I guess, kind of gone to this like introverted, like I don't want to go out in the world because I'm embarrassed that I've gained weight. And so like to the point where it's kind of sad, but like the only people I really see right now are my parents, and I'll go visit them every once in a while. But like I didn't even want to, like these past few weeks, I haven't even wanted to go over to my parents to see them because I am embarrassed at like the weight that I've gained. And I know I know they don't care and they won't judge me, but like I don't want to film videos. I don't want to be on camera. Like setting up this video, I was like, oh gosh, why do I look so fat? Like I don't know. It's very crazy for me. And
it is very crazy.
And the good news is, this isn't all depressing. I feel like I'm finally getting myself back. Like, I feel like finally, like, what did you say the other day? You're like, you said something and I was like, you're like, why aren't you eating something or whatever? And I'm like, cause I need to be eating right. Cause I'm like freaking fat. Don't go in the comments and be like, Jessica, you're not fat. Like, it's fine. I'm overweight. Okay. I'll say I'm overweight, which I am overweight. And you were like, oh, you finally like, you
finally turned the page.
You finally like are back to the point where you're like, hey, I need to like get back on this. And I've even had those moments where I've turned to you and said like, you love me no matter what, right?
Yep.
Like, and that's the thing is like, Brian doesn't care. He doesn't care if he loved me when I was 285 pounds. Like, he doesn't care. And like, I know that, but I also know that he wants me to be my happiest, healthiest version of myself. And I'm not right now. And so I'm trying to get back to that point where I can get back on that path. But anyway.
Yeah.
That was
That was nice.
Got a little more, a little more emotional than I thought it was.
I bet that was fairly cathartic. So that was good. But
yeah.
A complete side note for that, kind of back to, I know there's going to be some questions as to like what I've actually been doing. Basically though, I've been eating entirely whole food plant-based, and I have been doing time restrictive eating where I don't eat until at least 2 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I usually eat about 2 meals a day. So that's really straightforward. Been eating all the exact same stuff that you've seen us do. I've made the weird chili a couple of times now, and made some really good sort of rice dishes and like all sorts of fun stuff like that. So, but that's all the normal stuff that we pretty much eat. And so I just wanted to give that little tidbit there. But on to exciting news.
Yes. So the other thing that we are trying to plan right now, hopefully I think we're going to do it, even though like I'm trying not to spend money right now, but like I'm not very good with money. And so for me, it's like, I feel like we have this opportunity, like I'm off work, like we can go on a trip. And obviously going on a trip right now is a very weird thing, but what we're trying to do is rent a Airbnb out in Montana where it's like secluded, middle of nowhere, no one around. We just go to a grocery store, pick up some groceries, cook our normal, delicious whole food plant-based stuff and eat there and like just enjoy the time with each other and not have the world around us or anybody around us. So that's kind of our plan, is to do a little road trip to Montana.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to do any filming.
That's what my goal would be. I know we love doing travel vlogs and stuff like that, and maybe I'll just film some footage just to film some stuff, and maybe we can put it together. But it's not going to be like some big. It's not going to be like the Huntsville trip, which is basically a work trip of us just filming nonstop and like doing all of that. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to spend like a vacation editing videos or getting those posted and worrying about all of that kind of stuff. But we've filmed a bunch of stuff ahead of time right now. We're actually really far ahead as far as videos are concerned. and which is awesome. And but yeah, if we go on vacation, I want to really just get away, reset, get back into a good mindset, and I feel that being surrounded by, well, one, a state that I have never really seen before. I think we drove through a tiny corner of Montana like 20 years ago when, well, no, even more than that, because I would have been like 13 or so at the time. So 27 years ago. But I've never seen like any of the rest of the state of Montana, and I just want to see those mountains again because we're in Missouri and we don't have mountains in Missouri and or Illinois or any of that kind of stuff. And I really I've got this overwhelming desire to go out west and see the mountains again. I don't know why, but it seriously just is this overwhelming drive in me to head out there to see South Dakota again, to see Wyoming, Montana, and like all the rest of those states that I remember from my childhood, but I have no adult memories of, and so I'm looking forward to doing that with you.
So, if you have any recommendations of places that we should go from, we'd be going from St. Louis to Montana. So, like places that we should go. Obviously, we're trying to like avoid people as much as possible. But if there's places you think we should go along the way, or if there's places in Montana, we're looking for more just like parks and stuff that we can just be outside and not around people and just do our thing. So, if you have any suggestions, always comment below. Maybe what we'll do is, we're going to take photos and some videos of like the beautiful scenery. So maybe what we'll do is on the live stream after we get back, we could do like a little vacation share and show you guys what we did maybe instead of doing like a formal little video or anything like that.
I can always throw together a quick little couple-minute video.
Couple-minute montage or something.
Little bit of music in there with no voiceover or anything.
Yes. So that trip will be hopefully sometime around like my birthday and our anniversary, which is coming up in November.
We may do a live stream while we're out there.
Yes. So we're planning on doing the next live stream that we're going to have is going to be, I think, either the 27th or 28th. It depends. We're kind of trying to figure out the schedule. Normally it would be Wednesday the 28th, but we may do it early. We're not sure, but it's going to be a Halloween themed live stream. So
she's going to make me get a costume.
I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I'm so excited. So I don't know. I have like ideas in my head, but it's going to be a spooky Halloween live stream.
Oh God.
Yes, it will be spooky. We also will have a birthday live stream for my birthday, which is going to be November 8th.
Yep.
If we're traveling, we'll do it from wherever we're at. If we're home, we'll do it from home. We haven't really decided yet. And like he teased earlier, I have a super exciting birthday recipe that's coming out for my birthday, which definitely will not help with weight loss, but is a celebration thing. And we'll maybe flash up a little picture of it here just to tease you guys a little bit. We recorded some videos where we tried some more weird fruit, which was actually really fun. So we have a couple more of those coming out. We have the one where we made the almond milk.
Yes.
It's a long one, but it's going to be everything almond milk.
Yep.
Also, we have, let's see, I'm trying to make sure we hit all my notes here. So yeah, we have some videos coming up and we have some more recipes that we're working on too. So we kind of did a little planning out of the rest of the year of videos. And so we have some exciting things coming up definitely. But we also have another thing that happened to us was that September or was that August?
What?
I'm such a bad aunt. We actually got a new baby nephew, and his name is Rivers, and he's like super cute. So we'll put up some pictures of us with Rivers here so you can see how cute he is. But that's another little thing that's happened to us since our last life update. I've been watching Heroes.
Yes, from the early 2000s show.
It's the first couple seasons were pretty decent. I'm on the third season right now. If you've watched the show, you probably know that it gets a little bit like Oliver just shook.
He just shook.
If you've watched the show, you probably know the third season of Heroes gets a little bit like, what? I just keep saying, because he's seen it, and so I just keep saying, like, what is even happening? Like, what, like, she has a twin now? Like, what is even happening? I'm confused.
Don't know. I never even watched the fourth season, so I don't even know what happens after the third.
It's kind of turning into a soap opera.
It is very much turning into a soap opera. Pick the butt up. Pick the butt up. He can be on here for
Bud
the last little
wants to be in the video.
Yeah.
Bud, you're dirty.
Oh, buddy.
Bud.
He really wants to go outside. He's like itching to leave.
To go on a little walk.
Yeah, go on a little adventure.
So let's see. I'm gonna take your leash off, Bud.
Yep. And what's our final thing that we got on there?
Mess.
Says podcast.
Oh, podcast. I wanted to tease. So I've taken over kind of like booking guests for Ryan's podcast lately because he just is so like.
That's not true. I'm fairly decent at getting people on the show.
Yeah, but you just don't have the initiative to like start doing stuff.
I'm busy doing other things.
So this Friday, oops, Ollie's leash fell. This Friday we actually have one coming out that I'm really excited about. It's actually with a vegan butcher who is in St. Louis. His name is Chef Chris Bertkey, and you guys were like 2 peas in a pod. The interview was the first time that we really talked to him. And so it's just a great conversation. It goes beyond talking about food or anything like that, like talking about just music and everything. I had to keep like reeling them back in. I was like, okay, I feel like they're like the same person. It's kind of crazy.
It's pretty funny actually how much he and I actually had in common.
And
but he has a restaurant in St. Charles that we went to on my birthday.
The vegan deli and butcher, and we went for his birthday, like you said, and it was so freaking good.
It was like up there. It's like top 2 for me, like best vegan food I've ever had. So
top 2.
Top 2, yeah.
The other
Cafe Gratitude is kind of hard to beat.
Okay. The other guest we have coming up is Reebs.
Oh yes, Reebs from Well Your World.
Reebs from Well Your World. So that'll be coming up like the following week. So yes, we have exciting things on the podcast, exciting videos, live streams, all that coming up for you guys. But yeah, anything else?
No, other than I think that we're, things have been rough for you over the last bit, but I feel that it's turning around, and I feel that we're heading into a good season right now as far as, it's fall, it's winter, it's like that's always some of our favorite times of the year.
I just want to finish the year out like on a good note. I want to I just want to, 2020 has been, do you remember when we were sitting here filming our like 2020 New Year's resolution video? I want to go back and watch that. Like, oh dear. It's just like, no one could have imagined what 2020 had in store for any of us. And so I feel like I just want to try to leave it on as positive a note as I can and try to learn from what has happened this year and get whatever I can out of it and move forward with that, because you can't dwell on messing up in the past and all that stuff. You just have to keep forging forward and, remember that there's always a new day ahead.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see what's going to happen over the next few months. And I'm actually also excited about what we're going to do today, because we're going to an apple orchard today.
Yay.
Because we haven't had enough apples recently.
Yeah, we need more apples.
So we need more apples. But we're going to go to an apple orchard and actually pick our own and have a good grand old time and just get out of the house and not have to be around anybody else and all of that. So, that's going to be a fun day for us. But should I just do the close? All right. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and click the bell that is right next to that button so you get notified whenever we post a new video. You can also find us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. You can send us messages on there. We really do appreciate that. But if you want to send messages to Jessica personally, send them on Instagram. If you want to send messages to me, send them on Facebook. If you just want to talk to Jessica about anything that she said during this episode, to give her some encouragement or something.
Ollie has an announcement.
Oh God.
Ollie has his own Instagram page.
He does have an Instagram page.
I'll link to that below. If you want to follow Ollie, you can chat with Ollie.
I guess so, yes. But I think that's all I got.
That's all I got.
We will see you next time on Krocks in the Kitchen. Bye.